Hey guys, in today's episode, we look back at Week 5 top performers, give you some advice on trade targets, and then we give our thoughts on some underrated actors in our party question.
Welcome to the Coach and Commish podcast. No, not John Gruden, and definitely not Roger Goodell. It's Chris and Sean breaking down fantasy football for the everyday man.
Welcome back. You're here with the Coach and Commish. I'm Chris and Sean to my right, and let's talk about Week 5. There's some top performers, man.
It's a crazy week. There were some guys that won you weeks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to start at the quarterback position. There was 3 guys that if you had them on their team, then I don't know how you lost. Oh, wait. Oh, Chris did lose. That's right.
Oh, you had to go there.
So actually 2 of the guys, Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady and Justin Herbert, is who we're talking about today. In our league, actually, the Justin Herbert owner, Chris, did lose, and Lamar Jackson won, and Tom Brady won. So it was just Chris that didn't pull off that win with 50 points from a quarterback. Yeah, these guys are good. Is there any of these, Chris, that you know, we're going to talk trades later, but is there any of these guys that you would just capitalize and see if you could get, a haul for these guys, get an RB1 or something?
Oh, trading away any of these 3?
Yeah.
Out of the 3, the only one I would... Actually, no, I can't. Lamar's...
I would consider it for Lamar. That was the name I would bring
No.
up. I could see him being a little up and down. Obviously, the rushing baseline's nice. But, yeah, or Herbert. Either of those...
Can't get rid of Brady.
Really any of these. If you could go out and get a Jonathan Taylor, you could go out and get a Dalvin Cook, an Alvin Kamara. Like Alvin Kamara on a bye this week, you give up Justin Herbert for him, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think out of the 3, it would be Herbert.
Okay.
Herbert out of those 3.
All right, well, Herbert was throwing to this other guy that you wanted to talk about, so...
So we've got 3 receivers that roughly scored about 30. Mike Williams, 32.5 PPR.
That man is... on fire.
He's on fire. I mean, Devante Adams coming here at just 30, like 0.4 less than him, got 200 plus yards receiving.
Yeah.
Mike Williams is not the Mike Williams of yesteryears.
Yeah, I mean, people drafted this guy in like the 11th round.
I know, because you never wanted him.
You just knew he was going to get hurt. It hasn't happened yet.
And Keenan Allen has taken a backseat to Mike Williams.
Yeah, we have to say that now. And then Hollywood Brown, a guy you traded away.
I wasn't believing it.
Uh-huh.
I knew this could be a great year for him, but in the back of my mind, I was like, it's Baltimore. It's Hollywood Brown.
He's a guy that I would now trade away. If somebody thinks that he's now going to be like a wide receiver 1, don't sell him low, but if you can go get somebody like, say, a CD Lamb or Amari Cooper off that, down week, I'd try to go get them.
Yeah, so those were some top performers there. And this guy named Myles Gaskin, asking the local Dolphin fan here. He was RB4 this week. Is that real, Sean?
On my bench.
Against
Tampa Bay, who's supposed to be the run-stopping machine.
That's true. Well, he didn't run much. He caught for a ton.
Yeah.
That gave him all those points.
2 receiving touchdowns, I think.
Should our listeners be believing? Should they believe in Myles Gaskin right now? Or is this just a little blip?
I mean, as far as RB4, no. Obviously not that. But I do think Gaskin is a usable piece. I think that they're realizing that he is their best running back. But you're talking a low-end running back 2 at best.
Why is it taking them so long to think?
I don't know what they're doing. I mean, Malcolm Brown is not good. And Myles Gaskin's great. Like he should be used in the offense a lot more.
All right. So those were our Week 5 look-backs, recap of some top performers. Now we're going to jump right into the party question.
Ian, would you like to go to a party in my pants?
No, Brick.
All right, let's go.
Party question of the week here. We're staying with all right, last week we did some film stuff. This week we're doing film things. Who are our most underrated actors? This is really in your wheelhouse, Sean. You're the movie guy. I watch a lot of movies, but you understand it way better than I do.
Well, I'm going to go to a show that is basically a movie. We're going to go to the show Sherlock. And there's the guy that plays the villain Moriarty, and this guy is I've never seen him in anything else. He needs to be in more things, but Andrew Scott is his name, and just fantastic acting job. It's kind of one of those like the Joker type like acting where you just have to be this crazy person that just you believe that this guy is this nutso serial killer dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's really, really, really well done.
And this is the Cumberbatch Sherlock, all right, the BBC.
Yes.
All right, where make sure you get...
There's tons of Sherlock
There's
films.
tons of Sherlocks, but this one, I agree with you, Andrew Scott. I am going with Mark Ruffalo.
The Hulk.
The Hulk. Yes, everyone's thinking, oh, that's his one thing he did. He was the Hulk. No, he's been in some great movies. We're seeing a ton of his range with his comedy side in the Avenger movies, but I loved him in Spotlight. I mean, that was a great movie if you haven't seen that one yet. I mean, there's Foxcatcher was a really good one about a true story.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
So if you look around, there's a lot of his films that he just gets a little overlooked at. And that's why I think he's underrated. We all know his name because of the Marvel series. Zodiac is also out there.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Really good ones. He was in Shutter Island as well. So sometimes he's not the lead actor in it, but he's such a great piece
Yeah,
in every movie that he's in.
I like it.
All right. So from there, going to the turntables.
Well. How the turntables...
Just trying that out. You might not like that one. All right. So for our turntables this week, I think we're looking at guys, again, upside. We hate looking for the downside of guys. We're trying to give you some hope.
Yeah, so again, turntables is guys that have been underperforming and that we think can turn it around this coming week. Or, every once in a while we'll throw in there some negative ones where you need to watch out. These guys have been overperforming.
Yeah. So we're actually choosing players from the same exact game.
Yeah, so go ahead and why don't you start it this time?
All right. I'm going with Joe Mixon against Detroit. Joe's coming back. Call him Joe like I know him. Mixon's coming back from a low ankle sprain. And Detroit just let, Madison, Minnesota, run all over him.
I know, on
right?
the bench.
And Mixon found the end zone, 10 carries for 33 yards. That's just him getting back and trusting that foot again. He's definitely on the turn up.
Yeah.
And some of you guys probably kept him on the bench in your lineup. Not sure what he was going to do. Now just start him. He's back to normal.
Yep, I agree. And then another guy that I have on a lot of teams, TJ Hawkinson. He's been kind of painful the last few weeks.
Yes, he has.
As the ballers would say, the hawk strap has been out. And I think you can put him back in, or not put him back in. Continue to start him. I can see people going to the waiver wire, trying to pick up guys to start over him. But I think against Cincinnati, he gets it right, and you start to see more production out of Hawkinson.
All right, so those are guys who are, we think, going up. And now we're talking some trades. This is the time where you're, like in my personal league, our league actually, I started trading, and I'm hitting a lot of trade talks right now. My screen is kind of blowing up.
I know, same here. I'm trying to focus, and I got Leroyce in my ear over here.
Like, if you're on the top of your standings right now, it's not time to relax. Don't overthink it, but also try to find spots to shore up in your starting lineup. If you're sitting with a ton of depth, it doesn't do any good if it's on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, you hear that sell high and buy low. That's really what it comes down to. That's a great place to start. What I often do is I'll look through, go through the week leaders, look and see who had a crazy good week this week that doesn't usually have that. Try to sell that guy if he's sitting on your team. It's a hard time to do it, but it's the time to do it. Same thing with the low. You look for the stars that have had a bad week or two in a row. Go find them, find that owner. They're probably down on them, and you can steal them for cheap.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start us off here with two running backs. We talked about one of them, Myles Gaskin. Again, I said he's still usable, and I think you can pitch that to the guy you sell him to, Morgan Collins.
So we're trading away here with these guys.
Yes, I would trade away Myles Gaskin and Mike Davis. I think this is the time. They had good weeks. Really, Mike Davis is one that if you need to get him off your team, like
I'm trying.
You need
I'm
to
really
get him.
trying. Nobody's biting.
Nobody. They're too smart in our league. But in your leagues, there might be some dummies out there, and you should try to trade away Mike Davis and Myles Gaskin. I would say as well. Those are guys that you can probably package deal with somebody and try to upgrade at the running back position, and I would do that.
Yeah. And I'll go with Cole Beasley. All right. Emmanuel Sanders has taken his spot in almost his targets. And it was only 5 targets, but Beasley has gone silent for multiple weeks now. I just don't think he is worth a flex option, or he better not be a wide receiver 2 in your lineup. but trade him away ASAP. You might not get much back for him, but find somebody that might be a Bills fan. See if you can get something in return for him. Right now, his value is going down. Or you keep him a week, wait for him to get back up there and have a good week of double digits, and then let him go. Because Emmanuel Sanders is keeping that spot at wide receiver 2 in Buffalo.
Good luck to you guys out there. I don't know if anyone wants Cole Beasley, but
No. But try to trade him away.
but get rid of him is what Chris is saying.
Basically. All right, trading for. Guys, we need a target that some people might be undervaluing.
So I'm going to start with Mixon. That was, your turntables guy, but Mixon, I think, go get him. People may be a little afraid of that injury. I think it's amazing news that he was even out there last week, got 10 carries, didn't look like he re-aggravated it, and so you might be able to get him on the cheap. And then for the Cowboys, they've had a couple down weeks as far as scoring goes, and those Cowboys receivers to me are valuable right now, and I think you can go get them on the cheap. CD Lamb's probably the harder one to get, but Amari Cooper especially, I think you can go find him in a league and steal him off that owner.
Okay. I like that. And I'm going for a guy that I just got as a throw-in with the trade I made. But Chase Edmonds.
I like it.
Yeah,
Running backs are hard to find right now, and I think he's a good one to target.
He had a shoulder injury. In some leagues, he finished with less than 3 points. But if you look back in his production moving up until this week, he's a double-digit guy. It might not be overwhelming numbers, but I think that in this offense where he is used in the pass game a ton, you're going to be happy with him as an RB2 or flex, especially if you're not satisfied with a Mike Davis in your lineup or figuring out which Baltimore running back to start. You should probably go in with Edmonds. Yeah, he gets a little touchdown vulture there with his running mate. What's his name? Who am I thinking of in Arizona?
Oh, James Conner.
James Conner. It's okay. Well, it'll happen there, but I think Edmonds will find the end zone, but he gets tons of starts, tons of targets. But that's my guy for trading for.
Yeah, so we're finishing up a little early here, so I'm going to throw Chris a curveball, and I just want to do some start and sit stuff.
Okay.
So we'll start with who's a player that we really want to start this week. That kind of goes in with our turntables thing, but we'll get to the sit one after this. And we just want to give you guys some players that maybe you're not sure if you should put them in your lineup, and we're going to give you kind of the confidence to go out and do that. So I'll go ahead and start this one off. And I'm going to say Devante Smith. He hasn't exploded quite yet, but I think it's coming. I think he's a guy that you need to continue to have in your lineup because you don't want to miss that week when he finally puts it all together with Jalen Hurts. So he's a guy that I'm trying to start anywhere I can. Another good trade for candidate, I think.
Yeah, and I'm going with Kadarius Toney.
Oh, my guy here. I have him on my bench, and you want him?
Yeah, trust the numbers. He is going against the Rams.
No one else is healthy, so that's helpful.
No one's healthy. That's the biggest thing. And he's in the slot there. Will Ramsey follow him in the slot? No. I really don't think so. So they'll be behind the Rams. And whoever's playing quarterback for the Giants that week, if it's Glennon again, he's going to find Toney a ton. The targets will be there. I say start Toney. All right, so who's your sit of the week?
All right, so I want to give you guys some running back sits, but I have to do this one first because we need to do it together. It's been on my team. It's been 5 straight weeks of starting Allen Robinson, but it is time to push him down to the bench until he can prove himself otherwise. So do it with me. Allen Robinson should not be in your lineup. Ooh. It's been really, really, really rough. And then I do want to give you guys a running back that I think you should sit. I would like to get away from starting Mike Williams. I've already kind of talked about it, but if you can trade him away, then great. If you can't, then put him on your bench because I don't think you're going to see what you saw last week.
Really?
He played the Jets. They were up most of that game. He got in the end zone. Those things all helped him put together a 12-point game, which is not that fantastic to begin with. So I'm looking for other options if I can sit down Mike Williams.
All right. Well, I'm trying to find it because you threw me a curveball, trying to find a sit guy real quick. But let me look at it. Let me find somebody. Let me find someone. All right. I'm really looking at Trey Lance. I
All right.
think the experiment for most of you guys who are happy that Trey Lance got in there, I think you see where the offense can really go. They had, yes, it was divisional. They had Arizona. He did all right, but if you benched him for a normal top 12 quarterback that you have on your roster, and you probably saw the score differential, trust it. Don't try to be, well, I'm going to try one more week and see if I get the real big boom. I think you're going to get more bust, and I really think you need to take Trey Lance off your starting lineup, put back in your normal QB, and just trust it this week.
Isn't Trey Lance on bye this week?
That's true, too.
It's a fantastic sit there, by the way.
Now, I'm just thinking sit him forever.
That's a great way to go. You know, if your
that-
player doesn't play this week,
That
I
sounds like
definitely
a
recommend.
cop-out right there. I didn't even think of that.
This is what happens when I throw the coach curveballs.
Yeah,
he
and
just
I was like looking at
starts throwing out players that aren't even playing this
it. Yeah,
week.
you are right. You are right about that. But
How about Latavius Murray on your own team there? I mean, I feel like it's obvious at this point, but
I mean, he gets used almost about 10 targets a game, but when you put 4 points, yeah, sit Murray. Sit any Ravens running back. I was listening to a podcast coming in, and I agree with them. Forgot who it was. But the Ravens offense looks like it's Lamar and the receivers.
yeah,
The running backs aren't the same when
which
it's
is weird.
Dobbins
It's the opposite of what we think.
and Gus. These guys who are in there now replacing Gus and Dobbins aren't the same. Thus, Harbaugh is not trying to call it the same way. He's giving Hollywood and Andrews looks, letting Lamar putting the game in his hands. And, that rookie Bateman who they got in the first round is probably coming back next week. I think it's going to be a receiver and Lamar, festival, fun fantasy festival the rest of the season.
Fantasy festival.
Yes. What's that called when you use a lot of the same words with a starting letter? I can't remember. Onomatopoeia. I can't remember. Anyways, so that's our start sit of the week. I am ruining the segment.
Yeah, I won't do that again to Chris. We'll make sure that he's prepared next time.
I saw you go in there, and most of the time I can take a curveball, but I was not good with my Trey Lance sit.
Yep. All right. Well, that's what we got for you guys this week. Jump in our chat. You guys will hear this afterward, but we're gonna do a waiver wire show on Tuesday nights. We're gonna try to do them in person now together since Chris over here does not know how to use technology.
It's the worst.
But yeah, jump in our Facebook group. We're having a good time in there. Bouncing ideas off of each other, start sit questions and stuff like that. Also, comment below. We want to know your guys' answers to the party questions. I'm always interested in what other people think. So give us some underrated actors down there.
Yeah. Well, make sure to listen to the voiceover guy at the end here. Follow us on all the socials. Hit us up on our Facebook group on Sundays. And hopefully we help you guys win some games this week.
All right. See you guys.
All right.
Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Coach and Commish podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Coach and Commish. And join our Facebook group called Fantasy Football Advice with the Coach and Commish for direct access to weekly waiver wire and start sit advice.